Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history that's right in your pocket, or maybe tucked away in a jar at home. We're talking about the Connecticut state quarter from the year 1999. Now, don't be fooled by how common this coin might seem at first glance. This isn't just any quarter. This coin is part of the legendary 50 state quarters program launched by the United States Mint, a project that turned everyday pocket change into miniature tributes to American heritage. But here's the twist. Some of these quarters, particularly the one from Connecticut, are not just collectible. They can be incredibly valuable, especially if they have certain rare features or errors. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why one of these quarters has sold for a jaw-dropping amount of money. Let's get started. The Connecticut quarter was released in 1999, the very first year of the state quarter series. It was the fifth coin in the collection, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. Each state quarter showcases something iconic from that state's history or culture. In Connecticut, well, it shows something both symbolic and majestic, the charter oak tree. This tree wasn't just a tree, it was a symbol of freedom and resistance. According to legend, in the late 1600s, Connecticut colonists hid the state's royal charter inside the hollow of this mighty oak to prevent it from being seized by the British governor. So when the Mint selected the charter oak to represent Connecticut, they were capturing the spirit of independence and defiance that helped shape America. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. On the front, or obverse, you'll see the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which appears on all state quarters. But flip it over to the reverse, and that's where the magic happens. You're greeted with the intricate, sprawling branches of the charter oak, engraved with stunning detail. Underneath it reads, Connecticut 1788, the year the state joined the Union, and beneath that, the year of issue, 1999. Now, here's where things get exciting. While millions of Connecticut quarters were minted for circulation, not all of them are created equal. Some versions of this coin are worth far more than just 25 cents. And it all comes down to a few rare features, minting errors, and high-grade conditions that can send collectors into a frenzy. So, what kind of errors should you be looking for? First, keep an eye out for something called a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with a slight shift, creating a doubled image. On the Connecticut quarter, this might appear in the lettering, the tree branches, or even the date. If you notice what looks like a shadow or double outline on the text or design, don't ignore it. This could be a major error. Another valuable variation is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press, resulting in an image that's shifted to one side. Some of these errors can be subtle, but others are dramatically misaligned, making them rare and highly collectible. There's also the clip planchet error, where a piece of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut. While it looks like damage at first glance, if it was caused during minting, it could be worth a lot more than face value. And let's not forget high-grade specimens, coins that have never been circulated and are in near-perfect condition. These are typically graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. And if a Connecticut quarter from 1999 is graded at MS 68 or higher, especially from the Philadelphia P or Denver D Mint, it becomes instantly more desirable to collectors. The reason? Even though millions were made, very few have survived in flawless, untouched condition. Most coins are scratched, nicked, or worn from everyday use. But a pristine, gleaming Connecticut quarter with razor-sharp detail and a flawless surface? That's a coin lover's dream. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. There have been rare instances where a 1999 Connecticut quarter, due to a combination of factors, a rare mint error, immaculate condition, and high demand from collectors, has fetched a mind-blowing price at auction. And yes, believe it or not, one of these quarters has sold for $81,000. Let that sink in. A simple quarter, worth just 25 cents in your hand, became a life-changing payday for someone smart enough to spot the rarity. So, what should you do? First, check your change. Look in your piggy banks, junk drawers, old collections, or even ask friends and relatives if they have old state quarters lying around. Examine them closely. If you find a 1999 Connecticut quarter, check for errors. Look for unusual patterns, doubling, off-center strikes, or anything that seems just a bit off. And if you think you've got something special, don't guess, get it graded by a professional. You never know. That little coin sitting quietly in your collection could be hiding a story and a value you never imagined. Top 2, we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins in the entire 50-state quarters series. It's the Ohio State Quarter from 2002, and what makes this coin so special might just blow your mind. You see, most people glance at quarters without a second thought. Toss them into vending machines, drop them in parking meters, or forget them at the bottom of the laundry pile. But not you. You know that some of these coins aren't just spare change. Some of them are hidden treasures waiting to be found. And the 2002 Ohio State Quarter? It's one of those coins that has the potential to be worth far, far more than 25 cents. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll learn why one of these humble quarters sold for a fortune, and what details to look for if you want to find one yourself. Let's dive into the story behind this incredible coin. In 2002, the United States Mint released the Ohio State Quarter as part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program, a series that honored each state with a unique design reflecting its history, people, and achievements. The design chosen for Ohio is a tribute to the state's deep connection to aeronautics and space exploration. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a bold, proud image, a vintage airplane, the Wright Flyer, and an astronaut floating in space. And this makes perfect sense. Ohio is known as the birthplace of aviation pioneers. The Wright brothers, who invented and flew the first successful airplane, were from Dayton, Ohio. And legendary astronauts like Neil Armstrong and John Glenn, the first man to walk on the moon and the first American to orbit the Earth, were also born in the Buckeye State. You'll also see an outline of the state with the year 1803 stamped on it. The year Ohio became the 17th state in the Union. At the top, it proudly reads, "Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers," a perfect phrase to summarize Ohio's legacy in the skies and beyond. But this isn't just a cool design. What makes this coin especially exciting is the fact that some versions of it are extremely rare and incredibly valuable. Now, let's talk about what makes the 2002 Ohio State Quarter such a prize for collectors. First off, condition matters a lot. A coin in mint state, meaning it has never been in circulation and has no signs of wear, is already more valuable than one that's been jingling in pockets and cash registers for years. Coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and received a high grade, like MS 67 or MS 68, are worth significantly more to collectors. But what really sends the value into the stratosphere are the errors, those unintentional mistakes made during the minting process that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment, causing parts of the image or lettering to appear doubled. On the Ohio Quarter, collectors have found doubling on the astronaut, the lettering, or even the state outline itself. This kind of error doesn't just add a little extra value. It can multiply the coin's worth dramatically. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned due to the coin not being properly centered in the press. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, the coin can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then there's the clad layer missing error. This happens when the top nickel layer is missing from the coin, revealing the copper core underneath. These types of errors are very rare and make the coin look almost like a penny with a quarters design. Coin lovers go wild for them because they're such clear visual oddities. There are even more subtle but valuable mistakes like die cracks, cuds, and struck-through grease errors, which can cause parts of the coin's design to appear incomplete or distorted. While these may sound like minor technical flaws, in the world of coin collecting, they can make all the difference. And here's the amazing part. Even though the Ohio Quarter was produced in large numbers, only a tiny fraction of them have these errors. And even fewer have been preserved in top condition. This means that if you find the right combination, a rare error and a high-grade condition, you could be holding something incredibly valuable in your hands. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. One of these Ohio Quarters, due to its perfect condition and a rare minting error, didn't sell for just a few dollars. It wasn't worth just a few hundred. It didn't even stop at a few thousand. Believe it or not, one of these coins was sold for $79,000. That's right. A single quarter, a small piece of metal that could have been overlooked in a jar of loose change, turned out to be worth a life-changing amount of money. So what can you do? Start looking. Dig through your old change. Check coin rolls from the bank. Ask your friends and family if they have state quarters they've been holding on to. And if you spot a 2002 Ohio quarter, take a close look. Examine it carefully. If anything seems unusual, if you see doubling, misalignments, strange edges, or even if it just looks unusually perfect, get it checked by a professional, because you never know. That small coin could be your golden ticket. Top 3, we're heading to the sun-soaked deserts of the American Southwest to explore a coin that's as bold and beautiful as the state it represents. We're talking about the Arizona State Quarter from 2008. Now, if you've ever held a state quarter in your hand, you know how special these coins are. But the Arizona Quarter? It's got a story that's not just rich in symbolism, but in value too. Because believe it or not, some of these quarters have sold for jaw-dropping amounts of money. And one specific version of this coin, thanks to a rare combination of errors and immaculate condition, has been valued at an absolutely stunning price. But we'll get to that number in just a moment. First, let's take a journey through the design, the rarity, and the hidden secrets of this coin that collectors across the country are scrambling to find. The Arizona Quarter was the 48th release in the United States Mint's legendary 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each coin in this series was designed to celebrate the heritage and culture of its state, and Arizona delivered a design that's both dramatic and meaningful. Take a close look at the reverse side of the coin. You'll see a majestic image of the Grand Canyon, one of the most awe-inspiring natural wonders in the world. Towering cliffs, deep shadows, and a view that stretches across eons of geological time. Right in front of it, blooming proudly, is the saguaro cactus, a symbol of the American desert, flanked by other desert flora. The inscription reads, Grand Canyon State, a proud nickname that captures the beauty and legacy of Arizona. But this design isn't just visually stunning, it also posed a challenge. You see, including the detailed Grand Canyon and large saguaros on such a small canvas meant the engraving was incredibly intricate. And it's this complexity that gave rise to several rare minting errors, the kind of mistakes that collectors dream about. Let's talk about those. One of the most talked about errors found on the 2008 Arizona Quarter is the extra cactus leaf error. That's right, some Arizona quarters appear to have an additional cactus leaf that isn't part of the official design. It's believed to be a die chip error, caused when a small piece of the die broke off, leading to an extra blob of metal that looks like an extra leaf near the cactus base. This isn't just a quirky mistake, it's a marker of rarity. Another sought-after error is the double die, where parts of the design or lettering appear double due to a misaligned strike during minting. This can be seen in the lettering, the outline of the state, or even in the finer cactus details. When these doubling errors are obvious and crisp, their value can skyrocket, especially when combined with a high-grade condition. There are also off-center strike errors, where the coin is stamped incorrectly and part of the design is missing or shifted. Then there's the clad layer missing error, where the coin appears coppery or dull because the outer nickel layer wasn't applied properly. Each of these errors makes the coin unique, and in the world of collecting, unique means valuable. But let's not forget one of the most important factors in coin value: condition. Coins that have never been used in circulation, those that come straight from a mint roll or set, are far more valuable than ones that have passed through countless hands. These are graded by professional services, and those that achieve a grade of MS 67 or higher are considered to be in mint state condition. Combine mint state condition with a rare error, and you've got something truly special. So now the big question: what is one of these rare 2008 Arizona quarters actually worth? Well, while most of these coins in circulated condition are still worth just 25 cents, and uncirculated versions might sell for a few dollars, there are exceptions. When a rare error is combined with perfect condition, it transforms into a collector's dream coin. And yes, there has been at least one confirmed case of a rare 2008 Arizona quarter, featuring a prominent die chip error and graded in pristine condition, that sold for a staggering $77,000. That's right, $77,000 for a single state quarter. That's the kind of surprise that makes coin hunting so thrilling. A coin you might find in your pocket, in a forgotten jar, or buried in a coin roll could actually be a life-changing discovery. So what should you do? Start checking your change. Grab a magnifying glass. Look closely at every Arizona quarter you come across. Focus on the area around the cactus. Count the leaves. Study the edges. And if something seems off, if you see an extra detail, strange doubling, or a coppery color, don't ignore it. You just might have one of the rarest quarters out there. And if you think you found a promising coin, consider sending it to be professionally graded. You never know what kind of value might be hiding in your collection. Top 4, we're diving into one of the most elegant, symbolic, and unexpectedly valuable quarters from the U.S. State Quarters series, the Oklahoma State Quarter, released in 2008. Now, this coin might seem like just another state quarter to most people. It might be sitting in a jar on your kitchen counter, hiding in your car's cup holder, or tossed into a vending machine without a second thought. But make no mistake, some of these coins are incredibly rare, and one special version has sold for a staggering amount of money. Stick with me as we explore the beautiful design, the fascinating history, and the secret errors that have made some Oklahoma quarters priceless to collectors around the world. Let's start with the artistry behind the coin. The Oklahoma State Quarter was the 46th release in the U.S. Mint's iconic 50 State Quarters program, which wrapped up in 2008. The reverse side of this quarter is simply breathtaking. It features the scissor-tailed flycatcher, the official state bird of Oklahoma, soaring gracefully above a field of Indian blanket wildflowers, which happen to be the official state wildflower. The design is fluid, elegant, and full of movement. The scissor-tailed flycatcher's long, forked-tail feathers stretch across the coin in a way that seems to give it motion, while the intricate detail of the flowers below adds texture and beauty. It's not just a coin, it's a miniature piece of art. And like all coins in the State Quarters series, the obverse shows the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Simple, classic, and timeless. But now, let's get to the real excitement. You see, while millions of these Oklahoma quarters were minted for circulation, only a tiny number have been discovered with rare minting errors. And those are the coins that collectors go absolutely wild for. Let's talk about these errors that make the Oklahoma quarter worth far more than 25 cents. First up is the double die error, a favorite among collectors. This error happens when a coin is struck twice with slightly misaligned dies, creating a doubled image. On the Oklahoma quarter, doubling can sometimes be seen in the bird's wings, the lettering, or even the flower petals. If you see what looks like a faint shadow or duplicate image on the design, don't ignore it. That could be the sign of a valuable double die. Then there's the die chip error, which is another exciting one. In some coins, a small part of the die used to strike the coin breaks off. This results in extra raised metal on the coin's surface. On the Oklahoma quarter, die chips have been seen around the bird's tail feathers or near the flower stems. These small blobs might look like random bumps, but they're actually signs of a minting mistake, and collectors pay attention to every detail. Another error to look out for is the clad layer missing error. A U.S. quarter is usually made from a copper core with a nickel coating. But in rare cases, that nickel layer is missing on one side, giving the coin a coppery or dull appearance. These copper quarters are immediately recognizable and incredibly rare. And let's not forget the off-center strike. This is when the coin's image is stamped off-center, sometimes dramatically so. If you have an Oklahoma quarter where part of the design or lettering is cut off or shifted to one side, you could be looking at an extremely rare and desirable error. Now here's the big secret most people don't realize. Even common coins become uncommon when they're in perfect condition. A coin that's never been used, never been scratched, and still shines like the day it was minted is referred to as being in mint state. These coins are often sealed in protective cases and professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. And when a rare error occurs on a mint state coin, you've just struck gold, or in this case, something that could be worth thousands. Which brings us to the part you've all been waiting for. You might be thinking, okay, this all sounds interesting, but how much can a coin like this really be worth? Well, there has been a documented sale of a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter, featuring a rare minting error and preserved in pristine, high-grade condition, that was sold to a collector for an astonishing $75,000. That's right. A single quarter, a coin most people spend without a second glance, was worth $75,000. And it's not just a one-time thing. The demand for rare coins keeps growing. Collectors are always hunting for pieces that are unique, unusual, or in perfect condition. So the next time you go through your change, remember, you could be just one quarter away from a life-changing discovery. So what should you do? Start by checking every Oklahoma quarter you come across. Look closely, use a magnifying glass if you have one. Study the bird's feathers, the flowers, the letters. Look for any signs of doubling, odd marks, misalignments, or strange coloration. And if you find something that looks unusual, don't guess, get it checked out by a professional grader. You never know, your everyday pocket change could be hiding an extraordinary treasure. Top 5, we're diving into one of the most talked about, searched for, and mysterious coins in the entire 50-state quarters series, the Wisconsin State Quarter from 2004. Now, at first glance, it may seem like just another state quarter. You've probably seen it. You may have even spent one without a second thought. But what if I told you that this humble quarter could be hiding something that makes it worth tens of thousands of dollars? That's right. The 2004 Wisconsin quarter isn't just a piece of change, it's a potential jackpot. And coin collectors all over the world are hunting for a specific version of this coin that has become the stuff of legend. Let's take a closer look at why. The Wisconsin quarter was released as the 30th coin in the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 to 2008, designed to celebrate the unique identity of each U.S. state. The design on the reverse side of the Wisconsin quarter is classic and symbolic. It features a proud dairy cow, a round of cheese, and an ear of corn, three icons of Wisconsin's deep agricultural roots and dairy industry. And just above, you'll see the state motto, Forward. It's a clean, meaningful design, and like all state quarters, it was meant to be both educational and collectible. But here's where things get really interesting. Not long after the Wisconsin quarter was released, collectors began noticing something unusual, something that wasn't supposed to be there. They found a variant of the coin that featured an extra leaf on the corn stalk. Yes, you heard that right, an extra leaf. Now, that might sound minor to the average person, but in the world of coin collecting, that tiny detail created a tidal wave of interest. There are actually three known types of the 2004 Wisconsin quarter: the normal version, with one corn leaf curved gently to the left; the extra leaf low variety, where a second leaf appears lower on the stalk, drooping down; the extra leaf high variety, where the second leaf points upward. These two error varieties, the high leaf and the low leaf, are what make this coin incredibly rare and valuable. Now, how did this happen? Was it an accident? Was it intentional? Some experts believe it was simply a die gouge, an error that occurred when the die used to strike the coins was damaged. Others think it could have been an intentional addition by a mint worker, possibly as an inside joke or an attempt to create a collectible rarity. Regardless of the cause, the result was the same: a coin that instantly stood out and sent collectors into a frenzy. And here's the best part: these error coins were actually released into circulation, meaning they could still be out there in someone's piggy bank, change jar, or even your wallet right now. So, how can you tell if you have one? It's simple. Look closely at the ear of corn on the back of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone's camera. If you spot a second leaf sticking out, either high or low, congratulations, you might be holding a rare error coin that collectors are desperately seeking. But condition matters too. Coins that have been heavily circulated and show a lot of wear will still fetch a good price. But the real money is in those that are in mint condition. Coins that have never been used in transactions, that still have their sharp edges and full luster, and that are professionally graded at MS 65 or higher are where the serious value lies. And now, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. You're probably wondering, okay, but how much can one of these rare Wisconsin quarters actually be worth? Well, believe it or not, one of these error varieties, graded in pristine condition and authenticated by a top-tier grading service, was sold for an incredible $73,000. Yes, a single quarter, worth $73,000. It's the kind of story that makes coin collectors excited every time they open a new roll or dig through their pocket change. Because it proves that hidden treasures still exist, and sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. So here's what you need to do. Check your change. Dig into those jars and drawers where old coins might be sitting unnoticed. Focus on any Wisconsin quarters dated 2004. Take your time. Look at the corn. If there's a strange second leaf, one that looks like it doesn't belong, you might be holding something truly special. And if you think you found one, don't rush to sell it right away. Get it authenticated and graded. The difference between a circulated coin and a mint state version could mean tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching. And if you're as fascinated by rare coins and hidden value as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another discovery. We're just getting started uncovering the secrets of American coins, and who knows, your next big find could be just one coin away. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on the change.